Beloved Lightworkers, I, Michael, guardian of courage and truth, come forth in this hour to speak directly to your hearts. I bring a sword not of harm but of clarity, a radiant blade that cuts through veils of illusion and frees the spirit from the weight of fear. Many of you have felt the subtle webs of dread that cling to the human mind, the collective patterns built over centuries of conflict, scarcity, and doubt. This web is what I call the fear matrix. It is not a thing that exists in some distant realm, it is a vibrational structure maintained by repeated thought and emotion. It is time now to release yourselves from its hold, for your world cannot rise into its next age while bound by those cords. The fear matrix thrives when you believe yourself to be small and powerless. It draws its strength from your unexamined assumptions, that life is hostile, that love is fleeting, that you must compete for survival. These beliefs, once seated, grow into habits of reaction, anxiety at change, hostility toward difference, despair in the face of uncertainty. Over time, they form dense fields of thought that hover in the collective mind, influencing individuals who do not realize they are walking in a fog not entirely their own. To break the fear matrix is not to deny the reality of challenge or to suppress natural caution. Fear in its pure form is a messenger, alerting you to pay attention. But when fear becomes the default atmosphere in which you live, it dulls your intuition, narrows your vision, and prevents you from hearing the gentle guidance of your higher self. You, as Lightworkers, are called to dissolve that heavy atmosphere by reclaiming your sovereignty over your own energy and by offering the world a new pattern of response. The first action step is recognition. You cannot free yourself from a pattern you do not see. Begin to observe your thoughts as they arise. Notice the moments when your mind leaps to worst-case scenarios, when you shrink from opportunity because of imagined threat, when you doubt your worth. Pause and name these thoughts gently. This is fear speaking. By naming it, you bring it into the light of awareness, where its hold begins to loosen. The second step is grounding in presence. The fear matrix feeds on projections into the future and regrets about the past. It cannot thrive in the clear immediacy of the present moment. Practice simple grounding, breathe slowly, feel your feet on the earth, notice the rhythm of your breath. This anchors you in the reality of now, where you are more able to discern actual danger from phantom threat. When fear arises, return to the body, to breath, to the solid awareness of this moment. The third step is clarity of truth. Fear often cloaks itself in distorted stories. It whispers that you are alone, that change will bring harm, that others are enemies. Counter these stories by seeking truth, not the clamor of opinion, but the inner truth revealed when you are still and listening within. Your soul recognizes truth as a quiet certainty, a resonance in the heart. As you strengthen your relationship with this inner knowing, you become less swayed by the waves of collective panic. The fourth step is energy hygiene. Just as you cleanse your physical body, so too must you tend to your energy field. Each day, envision yourself bathed in a column of luminous blue-white light. Let it wash away the residue of fear absorbed from the environment. As you breathe, imagine the light expanding around you, forming a shield that allows love and wisdom to pass through but filters out the discordant static of collective anxiety. This is not escapism, it is the cultivation of a clear and strong personal field from which you can engage the world effectively. The fifth step is courage in aligned action. Once you are anchored in presence and clarity, you will be guided to act, to speak a word of kindness where silence once reigned, to stand up for fairness where you once stayed quiet, to step forward into opportunities that once seemed too daunting. Each act of courage, however small, is a thread that unravels the fear matrix. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, it means that your love for truth and for the well-being of others is greater than your attachment to safety. Beloved ones, understand that the fear matrix is sustained not merely by those who spread oppression, but also by the unexamined habits of ordinary people. When you hold resentment, when you respond to cruelty with hatred, when you surrender to hopelessness, you unwittingly feed the same web you wish to escape. Therefore, the sixth step is conscious cultivation of higher states, compassion, forgiveness, hope, joy. These are not naive indulgences, they are potent forces that transform the field around you. You ask, perhaps, how to maintain such states when the world seems to echo with division and turmoil. The answer lies in the seventh step, community of light. Do not attempt this journey alone. Seek out others who are committed to living beyond fear. Gather in groups to meditate, to share insights, to support one another in taking constructive action. When two or more come together in sincere intent to embody light, their combined field amplifies, creating pockets of coherence in the collective. These pockets serve as beacons, guiding others out of the fog. The eighth step is creative expression. The fear matrix thrives in stagnant fields where imagination is stifled. To create is to affirm that you are not a victim of circumstance but a channel of new possibility. Paint, sing, write, dance, build gardens, invent solutions not only for the sake of beauty but as acts of liberation. Each creative act sends ripples through the field, opening new pathways for others to follow. The ninth step is living example. Preaching against fear achieves little if your own demeanor radiates anxiety. Instead, embody the qualities you wish to inspire: calm in uncertainty, kindness in conflict, resilience in hardship. Your presence becomes a silent teaching, more persuasive than any argument. When others witness that it is possible to face life's changes without surrendering to dread, they too begin to loosen their bonds. There is also the matter of forgiveness, the 10th step. Many resist this because they believe that to forgive is to excuse harm. In truth, forgiveness is the release of your own energy from the grip of the past. When you carry anger like a shield, you remain tied to the very patterns that hurt you. By forgiving, which does not mean condoning but letting go of the chain, you free yourself and cease feeding the cycle of fear. As you apply these steps, you will notice changes not only in your own well-being but also in how the world responds to you. The fear matrix loses power when fewer minds and hearts consent to its pull. Like a network starved of energy, it begins to dissolve. This dissolution may reveal long-hidden wounds in individuals and in societies. Do not recoil from these revelations. They are signs that the deeper healing is underway. At this stage, your role as a light worker is to hold steady, neither minimizing the pain nor being consumed by it, but serving as a bridge between the old and the new. Offer empathy without surrendering to despair. Offer vision without insisting on control. Offer presence as an anchor in the storm. This is the quiet heroism of those who help shift an age. You may wonder whether you are strong enough for such a task. I tell you that strength is not the absence of vulnerability, it is the willingness to move forward in spite of it. You are never alone in this. The higher realms, your own soul's wisdom, and countless unseen allies support your every sincere step. When you call for assistance, we respond. Our guidance often comes as a subtle sense of reassurance, an inspired idea, a synchronous meeting, a dream that leaves a trace of clarity at dawn. Trust these gentle signs. Let me offer a simple daily practice to support you. Each morning, before the rush of duties, sit quietly and breathe deeply. Place a hand over your heart and speak inwardly, I claim my freedom from the illusions of fear. I stand in the light of truth. I am guided by love. Visualize a sphere of radiant blue light surrounding you, firm yet permeable to goodness. Carry this sphere with you through the day, refreshing it whenever you feel drained or uncertain. At night, as you prepare for rest, release any burdens you have gathered by imagining them dissolving into the vast field of light, where they are transformed. Another helpful discipline is the mindful use of words. Words shape vibration. Speak not in tones that reinforce fear. Avoid repeating dire predictions as if they are certain. Instead, speak truthfully yet with an orientation toward solutions, toward resilience, toward hope. Your voice can be a tool of liberation. As more of you practice these steps, the collective field shifts. Even now, you may sense the subtle tremors as the old patterns begin to loosen. The fear matrix cannot withstand the sustained radiance of hearts aligned in courage and love. This transformation will not be without its upheavals, but each disruption is an opening for greater light to enter. Beloved light workers, the time is ripe for your active participation in this shift. The breaking of the fear matrix is not merely the task of angels, it is a cooperative endeavor between realms. We offer our guidance and protection, but it is your hands, voices, and choices that must shape the new patterns on Earth. Do not wait for the world to become safe before you shine your light, it is by shining that you make the world safer. I, Michael, extend to you now the blessing of courage. Feel it as a steady flame in your core, unshaken by the winds of the world. Let it remind you that fear's power is borrowed, it has no life of its own except what you grant it. Withdraw that grant. Reclaim your freedom. Stand tall as a bearer of truth, a builder of new pathways, a living answer to the call of this age. Together, let us move beyond the old web of dread into a field of luminous possibility. May your hearts be strong, your minds clear, and your spirits unwavering as you step forward in service to the dawn that is already breaking.